Can I explain how a stock market crash can truly ruin an entire nation? The stock market crash of 1929 is one of the most infamous events in economic history. On Black Tuesday, October 29th, stock prices plummeted, wiping out millions of dollars in investments overnight. But the impact of this crash wasn't just about losing money. It had far-reaching consequences that affected the very fabric of the nation. The stock market crash wasn't just about rich investors losing their wealth. It was about the ripple effects that cascaded through the economy, impacting everyday Americans. When stocks fell, people who had bought on margin were forced to sell, often at a loss, which meant they couldn't pay back their loans. This led to a wave of bank failures, as banks had invested heavily in the stock market and were now left with worthless stocks. Millions of Americans had their savings in these banks, and when they failed, people lost their life savings. Without money, people couldn't spend, which led to a sharp decline in demand for goods and services. Businesses that were already struggling couldn't stay afloat, leading to widespread closures and layoffs. The impact was felt across the country, from urban centers to rural towns. As the economy contracted, industries began to collapse. The automotive industry, which had been a symbol of American prosperity, came to a grinding halt. Factories shut down and workers were laid off. The once thriving cities were now plagued by poverty and unemployment. The human cost was staggering, with families struggling to put food on the table and make ends meet. The stock market crash marked the beginning of the Great Depression, a period of unprecedented economic hardship that lasted over a decade. The scale of the national crisis was immense, with unemployment rates soaring to over 25%. Many Americans felt hopeless, as the country seemed to have lost its way. The crash had exposed the weaknesses of the economic system, and it would take a massive government intervention to get the country back on track. In the end, the stock market crash of 1929 devastated the nation, leading to widespread poverty, unemployment, and despair. The long-term lessons learned from this event have shaped economic policies and regulations to this day. If you've ever wondered how historical economic crises like the Great Depression still shape our world today, share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for more historical deep dives, and let's explore the stories that shaped our world.